What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Dead Wax Records video. Today's video I'm going to be showcasing all my metal CDs. I just redid and switched around the CDs, as you can see behind me. This used to be all metal, but now it's switched to a different shelf. There's some metal there behind me we'll start with, but then there's a whole shelf dedicated to strictly metal. So without further ado, let's start. So starting up here on this top shelf, to be honest with you, these two are like, it's more of hard rock than metal, but a lot of people consider these artists metal, so we'll just go ahead and get into it. This is Alice Cooper up here. These are those his first, the band, when Alice Cooper was a band, and then the first couple records, I think, up until School's Out. Here's some greatest hits comps, and then you kind of get into some of his later works throughout here. Raise Your Fist and Yell, Hey Stupid, Brutal Planet, stuff like that, up until some of his later stuff. Then I get into Ace Frehley right before all the Kiss stuff. Obviously, Kiss's original guitar player, Ace Frehley. Believe I have all of his solo albums there, including his latest one that he did, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then you get into Kiss, and it kicks off here with Kiss Rocks Vegas. Some of the first demos they ever recorded. That's the demo thing, their debut album. Then you get down in here, Creatures of the Night, goes right up until Monster. I have a couple gaps, but Kiss is my favorite band, so I'm missing a couple gaps there. Then we get into Def Leppard, Deep Purple, Dokken, Rat. I'm gonna go fast here because it's gonna be a while on the actual metal shelf here. But then Rat continues down into LA Guns, Slaughter, Kicks, Cinderella, and that's pretty much it for the metal or hard rock stuff that's on this shelf. So let's, without further ado, go to the metal shelf. Oh, and before I forget, we have the behemoth of a box set of the Dream Theater albums from '92 to 2016. Got that from Mono Records. And then down here, just going to showcase some other box sets here in the metal vein. Obviously, Def Leppard, Bruce Dickinson's solo album, two of the Black Sabbath box sets that they did. And then if you come up here, back there's the Motley Crue singles box set there. But that is the metal up there. Let's go to the metal. Alright, so coming down here, just going to do a quick pan of the shelf here just so you see what's awaiting us. This is my favorite shelf in my entire collection. So we'll go up here to the top here. We'll get started here with none other than AC/DC. AC/DC to me, they're a great band. They're one of the first hard rock bands that are I classify them more hard rock, but I threw them on the metal shelf just for fun. I just have their essential albums to me. The ones that I really like the most. Of course, I got that when it came out recently. Then we get into Avenged Sevenfold, and then Acid Bath, which I had the pleasure of seeing on their first couple of reunion shows that they did. I got free tickets and went. Just recently picked this up. This is Acid Bath Demos, which is pretty cool. And then we get into Anthrax here. I only have 3 Anthrax albums, the ones that obviously I find myself going back to the most. Another band that I saw a couple years back, Accept. They are freaking phenomenal. I saw them on the Humanoid tour, which, if you haven't heard of this album, that's a monstrous album there. You have All That Remains, Autograph, which is more of like glam metal, but I left them on here just to kind of take up some space for now. I know Black Flag isn't metal, they're more punk, but I threw them on this shelf because, hey, why not, right? Alright, now we're getting into probably the best spot on the shelf right here. We have Black Sabbath. Huge Sabbath fan, huge Ozzy fan, but I'm missing quite a few Sabbath albums. I have more Sabbath on vinyl than I do on CD. I'm just trying to switch hands here because my arm's getting tired here. Black Sabbath Greatest Hits for whenever you want to just throw that on. This is pretty cool. This is Heaven and Hell. This is the deluxe edition, the 2 CDs. It comes with some of the live material and whatnot. Then some of the other singers that they had come in and out of the band here, from besides Dio and Ozzy. Obviously, these remasters that they recently put out. Of course, their reunion stuff, their last album. And then here on the end, is Black Label Society's latest album, the only Black Label Society I own. Alright, so now we're going to come down here. I don't know why this is on this shelf, because Dawkins is no longer on that shelf, so we'll just huck that over there for putting that away later. Anyway, come down here. A band that I saw when I saw Alice Cooper, they opened for Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, Corrosion of Conformity. So yeah, saw those guys open for Alice Cooper and Judas Priest. I'm not going to show the cover because I don't want to get flagged, but the only Cannibal Corpse album I own, Cannabis Corpse there, CKY. This I kind of just bought blindly, not knowing what it was, and it's okay. This band here is quickly becoming one of my favorite metal bands now, Cradle of Filth. I just got into them last week, believe it or not, and I've been listening to them non-stop. This is their debut album. You know, so I've got some more of that coming in the mail because, you know, can't have enough of that. Dream Theater's latest album. This is the only one that's not in that box set. Deftones' latest album I thought was pretty good. Not really a Deftones guy. Down, this album is really good. If you haven't heard of Down, it's a New Orleans supergroup. I highly recommend this album. It is just absolutely insane. Dio, Holy Diver, I mean, another insane record. Dark Throne, just actually picked this up the other day, believe it or not. Death, you can't go wrong with Death, such classic. These are the 2-disc versions here, which come with some rehearsals and bonus material and whatnot. There's another Death album, Symbolic there. This is a band someone gave me this CD, it's Dead Weight. They're actually a pretty good kind of like thrash metal band. Oh, I saw these guys a while back, I Hate God. I saw them. They're freaking killer. Five Finger Death Punch, not really into them, just like these two albums. I believe this is actually oh, that's a studio album. Thought it was Greatest Hits. Now we're getting into Gwar, which, I mean, you can't go wrong with Gwar. Such a great band here. Some of this stuff I've been hunting for a while now. That was my introduction to Gwar right there. This is actually autographed on the inside. And this album is just so killer. Then we get into Godsmack, the only 2 albums that I've ever heard by them. Then we get into Ghost, got Ghost BC. Coming down here, just some of this Ghost records I go back to the most. This I pre-ordered and everything, and was kind of disappointed with it. I didn't really care for that album. We have Helloween, the only Helloween album I own. Not even sure what this is. I bought this at a bargain bin, but I have it. Then we get an Iron Maiden. This is a radio promotional copy that I have never seen before. I actually picked that up the other day. Then, of course, we have Senjutsu, Final Frontier, Matter of Life and Death. What is this one? Yes, Brave New World. That album is so good. Alright, moving on down here to this other shelf here. I'm just going to move this Judas Priest out the way till we get to Judas Priest. Alright. Just going to reposition my hand here. Iron Maiden, X Factor, Virtual 11, Fear of the Dark, No Prayer for the Dying. It's the Greatest Hits comp that they did for all these other albums I'm about to show you. Somewhere in Time. This is actually my introduction to Iron Maiden. Power Slave, one of my personal favorites, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. My all-time favorite Maiden record, Peace of Mind. Number of the Beast. Killers, such a great record as well. And their debut. Now moving into Judas Priest. I saw Judas Priest on the tour with Alice Cooper. Judas Priest played first, then Cooper, and of course Corrosion of Conformity opened, like I said. And of course I have this that was recently redone and put out. Alright, then we get into the K's. I know I'm moving kind of quick, but I have a lot to get through here. We have King Diamond stuff here. This album, if it wants to come out, this album, Them, is actually really good. Then we have Korn's Greatest Hits. Korn, Life is Peachy. Korn. Issues. What's the name of that? Follow the Leader. I always forget the name of that record. Here's a band that's super killer. If you haven't heard them, I highly recommend checking them out. Kitty, Spit. That was the 25th anniversary edition there. Then we get into Linkin Park. This latest record by them is really good. Of course, you have some essentials here when it comes to Linkin Park. Not the biggest fan, but I really do like Meteora. Put that on from time to time. This killer album here, Limp Bizkit, that's great. We have the newest from Lamb of God. And then we have one of my all-time favorite thrash bands, Megadeth. I believe I'm only missing 3 studio albums from them. It's Hidden Treasures. And then it just goes in order. Killing Is My Business. Peace Sells, But Who's Buying. So Far, So Good. So What? For whatever reason, that jewel case is just super cracked. I didn't even notice that yesterday, but it is. Whatever. You know, just killer stuff here. So is that one. What the heck? You know, when jewel cases are cracked. But yeah, Megadeth. Love Megadeth. I'm going to try to go see them with Iron Maiden on tour coming up. Look, this one's cracked too. Yeah, love Megadeth. And it continues down here. I'm constantly buying Megadeth stuff. Now I need to up the vinyl on Megadeth. But yeah, I actually went to they did a theater in-theater screening for this album before it came out, which was like insanely good. Then we have Misfits, just some of the stuff by them here. Then we get into Motorhead. I don't have too many by Motorhead, just again the albums that I enjoy the most. I just try to buy, you know. Machine Head, never even listened to that, but I have it. Morbid Angel, talk about some great death metal there. Then I have all the Metallica albums on CD, I believe. I have all of them. Master of Puppets. Of course, the Black Album. Even have the EP there, or not the, whatever it is. I think it's the EP. Of course, Load, Reload. Death Magnetic. Crazy cool fold-out Saint Anger, which I didn't care for at all. This Hardwired Self-Destruct's like super deluxe. Garage Inc. and 72 Seasons. And then just to throw this in there, Poppy. It's one of her records there. Then another favorite of mine, Marilyn Manson. Just gonna roll through his stuff here. Just again, the albums that I really enjoy by Manson. On those. Now we're getting to a band that I saw live a couple months ago, 9 Inch Nails, another favorite of mine. Love me some 9 Inch Nails. Alright, now we're going to move the last 2 shelves, but I just have to move down out of this chair. Okay, down here on the kind of floor level, we have a couple more 9 Inch Nails CDs to get through. So good. And then we move into Obituary, the only Obituary one. Then we have the king of heavy metal, or the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. Have an extensive Ozzy collection. Big Ozzy fan. For whatever reason, these got put out of order. I'm just noticing that as I'm going through. So these are supposed to be in order, so I'm going to have to fix that. But just ignore that they're not in order. Anyway, then we move into Pantera. It's Rammstein. Then we have Rage Against the Machine. White Zombie. I just decided to group that with Rob Zombie. Love some Rob Zombie. His latest one, Great Satan, super great. Highly recommend it. Then move into some System of a Down. Sepultura. Then, of course, one of my favorite bands, favorite metal bands, Slipknot. This is that 25th anniversary double disc of their debut album. Of course, I still own the standalone debut, Iowa. Their latest record, The End So Far, is so good. I did enjoy that. And Pantera got separated from Pantera. I have not had a chance to look at this shelf since I moved it, so I'm going to take those out because those need to go by the other Pantera. Then we get into some Slayer here. As you can tell, it's another one of my favorite metal bands because I have almost all their albums. I'm only missing a few of them. One of my personal favorites right there. Slayer, and then I just put this down here. This is Kerry King of Slayer's one of his, not his debut solo album, I don't think. Might be. There's Tool. Love Tool. Of course, got that. Another great band, Typo Negative. Volbeat, can't go wrong with that. Wednesday 13, if you never heard of them, check them out. Super great stuff there. Of course, you got Wasp, The Last Command. Love this album. And to end it all off, ending on Witch Trap. Great death metal. Alright, so there you have it. There's my metal CD collection. I didn't cover glam metal because I have most of that in the bin, but we'll do one final little pan here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.